Bahrain and Slovenia and last time here in Bosnia. But again, we need to talk maybe a little bit more about it. We need all to visualize each project. How do we see the projects going on? How can we manage the project? And discussion of what would be the impact on Bihac after doing these projects. These are very important things because if we didn't visualize all these things and how we want to take them over and what are the impact, how can we do it, the belief will not be there. We don't want to just do the project because we want to do it or because someone is forcing us, especially for the youth. You need to have the visualization of it and to know what are the impact of it as you are going to start.
You want to any translation or it's okay? Okay? Okay.
I want to fast, slow, okay. Okay, now what is inspiration economy? For people who attended before the concept, method, and project, I'm going to ask Yasmina, what do you know about inspiration?
About inspiration?
Yes.
Inspiration is a very important aspect of life of every person because when we have inspiration in our heart, all the other results will be seen in the future and in the world.
So the heart, one thing.
So when people are inspired by heart, they do the best.
Dr. Yasmina?
Inspiration for me is new perspective of lost for me. That is new for me.
New.
Yes, new method and you, very inspire me. Your theme, your experience about inspiration, and
All right. Anyone wants
knowledge.
to add an inspiration? Can we talk? Iqbal is hiding here. You were in the bus with us.
I was there.
Okay.
Yeah. Please.
For Bahrain, this is.
Inspiration is something what we need to do, what we need to just start doing it. Something. Because if we don't know what we need to do, we will not be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to be motivated with something.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All of what you said is right, but there are missing parts of it. So yes, when you said 1/3, right? But there are more and more.
What about Mr. Najat? What do you think? Mr. Najat? What do you think inspiration is?
I have no answer.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we will talk more about what do we mean by inspiration. Touch the heart, but also, as we said before, it should touch also heart, mind, and this part of it. Inspiration, when we talk about inspiration economy, it's always related to the socio-economic things. That's when we say inspiration economy. So inspiration is the one part, but if we work only on inspiration and didn't work in economy, it will not work. That's why now the world is moving more in socio-economic things. You can work in economic things alone without knowing the social context of any organization, country, culture of it. And then mixing here the socio-economic with the inspiration, then we'll have the currency of inspiration. And here's the secret when we talk about the projects. How can we run the projects that we are talking about with less cost and having the most benefits? And then this cost is cost of money, lots of cost of human power, cost of time, cost of everything. We always see where are the losers there, and then we can make the maximum advantages there. By knowing the socio-cultural also there. So you look about everything together.
True.
So this is one of the most important things. And when we talk about an inspiration economy, we are not talking only about projects or organization or society. The same method can work for individuals, organization, and society together. So the same method you work for anything, you can repeat it for the other things in the same way. These are one of the things that we keep it in our mind.
شوي بس دكتور.
Okay, you want to add?
And I would like to comment here. There is now the concept of richness. The power of richness is for many people they have lots of money, but they are not rich, right? They have lots of health, but they are not rich. Okay. So richness here will come. We believe that richness, once you have this inspiration or the power to inspire yourself and others, you are much richer than people have money. And this is why we say it's a currency. And this is why we believe, why we call it inspiration economy. Because many people, they ask us, why you didn't call it just inspiration? Why inspiration economy? Because you're going to move the economy if you use inspiration as a currency. Like, they said one time that knowledge will be the currency, if you remember, when we talk about knowledge economy. And this is what is Dr. Dunya is emphasizing. It is, you might be richer than countries that have dollars or have petrodollar or whatever, and so on. Because you're going to see the black and white spots and that others, they cannot see it. You're going to see the holes in different ways that others cannot see it. And you're going to explore opportunities in different ways. And this is why it is a very important currency for any economy. كمل.
لا you can finish.
Okay. طيب. So now we are talking about all of us, and when I say who we are, I'm not talking about inspiration as an organization, because we are a very small organization, as you know. We consider Prof. Yasmina, Prof. Azra, and Prof. Khalid. We consider them they are founders like us, because they were with us from first day. Okay. So same, Prof. Anna, Prof. Our colleagues also from Slovenia and so on. We all of you now, today, you are here in a holiday. I know that this is a very precious time because this is holiday time. But we are here to look how we can improve the quality of life of our societies and ourselves through inspiration. This is why we are here today. The other thing is that we are here because we want to implement the concept of resilience. There are now many books that came in the world about the word resilience. What means resilience? It means coexistence, right? You coexist with others. You believe that you have to be resilient, because if you are not resilient, you cannot exist anymore. If you are rigid, you can be broken very quickly. But if you are resilient, you can be actually flexible in a way that you discover lots of opportunities. And this is where the strength today. And for that, there is lots of books, as I said today, coming on the concept of resilience. And resilience means for us also is that we can discover the inspiration currency using the intrinsic powers of the humans. Most of the humans now, they are so weak, they always consider that they need external resources to help them to create a change in their society. Okay, and for that we believe that youth, and that's why the forum of youth, we believe that youth can find intrinsic powers faster than us. Because most of us, you'll see later, most of us will be trained on logical thinking. Okay? How can I build a school like this if I don't get a donation from Saudi Arabia, for example? Okay? I never thought in all my way, or my teaching, all my life, always I need fund, I need resources in order to create a change in the society. Now we're trying to change the economy, or they're trying to change the society. No, there's lots of internal powers within you that you can bring things better, and you can change Bihac or change your community without depending on resources, or with minimal resources. We don't claim that we don't need resources. We'll see in our projects, even when we divided our projects, if you remember, those who read our project, we said there is projects that depends on your inspiration. And there will be projects that depends on some funds. Like, for example, we found some students who needed some funds, and we said, this is will bring funds for these students. Or we found, for example, in the College of Agriculture or Biotechnology, we found there's a building that is not finished, right? And we started to bring money for that, by the way, for your information. Okay. So this is why we are doing this, not because we can do it better than Saudi Arabia or no. We believe that we can inspire the society by building this, for example, lecture theatre hall. Okay, because we can use it for inspiration purpose. And now we as humans, from small donations, we can create a change in the society, because there will be like a continuous source of education for the society. The other thing is creating bonds of mindset and labs and so on. The most important thing is changing the mindset. And this is why the purpose of why we are here. You want to change the mindset of the people. Because most of the people, as I told you, they think in logical way. They believe that unless we find resources, we cannot change the society. Okay. And of course, we will use, as you'll see later, we use different radical or gradual change to change our society with the minimal extrinsic resources, means external sources from outside. How the human change in general? The human change by three types of thinking. The first type of thinking is the logical and analogical thinking. Okay, we're being trained that 1 plus 1 equal 2, right? We never thought no, 1 plus 1 equal 3. Okay, but while in reality, most of the people who develop the world, whether Google, whether Microsoft, whether Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, all of these, they didn't think this way. They believe that they're going to change the world from their garage. At that time, they had this belief, and they changed the world. Okay, like Martin Luther King, Gandhi, and before that, of course, the prophets and so on. So we believe that the logical thinking will be either a blockage for us, like now today. Most of us, why we don't do these projects? Why we don't donate time like we're doing? We left our country for 6 months. We're coming here and we're sitting 6 months, okay? Some of us had the problem, and we had a problem with the university. Why we lived for 6 months without pay and so on, or without official and so on. This challenge is because people, they cannot see what we see. We believe in something. Our belief is moving us forward to move to Bosnia and to other countries and so on. So the logical thinking is sometimes a blockage for us, or sometimes if it is really linked to empathetic thinking, which is thinking of others before they ask you for help, it means that you started to see the innovative thinking. See, these type of thinking, the three of them, they will help you to see focus, and you will be having more focused repetition, because most of us, we think repetition is bad. No, if you repeat things in the same way, then it is bad. But if you repeat things and you are learning every time, it means you are like reading Quran, for example, or reading anything. You're reading book. If you repeat it the same way, then you are not learning. But every time if you read it and you read it in a different way, you read it with a different mindset, it means you are learning and you are changing your mindset. So this will help us to see that failures and appreciation will help us a lot. So failing in projects, by the way, let's now, you're going to run projects. You're going to need your mentors or counselors, we call them counselors sometimes, for projects, okay? Or team leaders, like we all will be the team leaders, or some of us will be counselors. Failing in a project does not mean the project has failed. Failing in a project means you found opportunity for success. You minimize now the area for failure. This means failure. And this is why we consider Steve Jobs as an icon. Because when he failed first time, or he was kicked off out of Apple first time, he learned a lot and he came with Apple and he made a success story. Okay? Same thing for Google and others. So very important is that failure, we consider failure is not a failure. So failure, we think it's a bad word. But always I say, in Japanese they write failure like success, but the only difference is that failure, they write it like this, and success they write it like this. The same writing or drawing, but only the difference, the arrow is here and the arrow is here. Well, it is the same word. Because lots of culture, they consider failure as a learning. Okay? Failure is not bad. The other thing is, of course, that unless we are challenged, we will not come to innovative thinking. Most of us will be like to be in the comfort zone. Like to be provided with the job of the counselor or the job of team leaders will be trying to get the innovation within each one of us by pushing their team to the another area, to the uncomfort area, so that they discover and they do lots of either physical or mental activities that will help them to discover or see things in different ways. At the end of the day, once we have youth coming out of this forum with different mindset and with different believing that they can change the world, they'll be better than Mohammed Muhammad, they'll be better than Prophet Yasmin, they'll be better than our generation. So they come with another generation that will bring, inshallah, the best not only to Bihac but to Bosnia and to the whole world. So we believe that by having these type of focused repetition, failure and appreciation, and challenges, we will create these linkages between these three types of thinking. And this is what is inspiration about. Inspiration is a level where a human capability, we can change the capability to the challenges. Human changeability, the resilience will be improving. Okay, being resilient now, we'll accept that you're going to change. Every time you change. You don't like this environment, but you are accepting that. Human competency, okay, which means their ability to change against the society, and human capacity, handling challenges will be much better. And this is why we are excited, because it's a holistic feeling, as Dr. Dunya said. like it will help us to change our mind, it will touch our mind, the project will touch our spirit, our heart, and physical content. When we evaluate, you know that each project will be judged. We have judges in the project. Judges, we have counselors or mentors, and we have team leaders. If there will be a judging jury, we will be sitting and evaluating your projects, okay? And we will give the best projects, like a winning team, prizes and so on, okay? Or appreciation and so on. So this is why we are talking about that. This is very important because it will help us to change our society by doing projects, live projects. We'll not go to a forum and talk only. And then for that we say, the team leaders' role is that they prepare their team, that there will be lots of work after the forum. Not during the forum. The forum is only bringing in knowledge to the society. But after the forum, there will be lots of changes, inshallah. We'll continue till, as we said, till June, inshallah. So it is about abundance mindset. See now, there is lots of type of economy. There is some type of economy called experiential economy. Experiential economy is like McDonald's. Okay, those who make fast food, right? You go to McDonald's everywhere. Once you see a McDonald's, especially our youth and me, of course. Okay, once we travel to place, I trust McDonald's. When I don't trust any place, but I see McDonald's, go to McDonald's. Why? Because McDonald's had inspired me that they give the same service everywhere. So I trust that when I drink a Coke in McDonald's, I will drink at least soft drink that's more trusted than any other Coke outside. Because they have a standard. They have same sandwich and so on. Okay, and same thing for other things. Your experience with any society, with experience with anything, it will create for you what we call abundant mindset. You know the difference between abundant mindset and scarcity mindset? لو ترجم عامر ما هو الفرق بين تفكير الإنسان الذي يرى العالم وافرح. العالم يعني كل شيء متوفر في العالم والعالم كبير، والفرق بين التفكير الذي يرى العالم ضيق وهو عبارة عن يعني كيكة واحدة فقط.
U suštini razlika između čovjeka koji vidi znači svijet u globalu i onoga koji ga vidi samo nekim njegovim, tako da kažem, užim granicama. Koja je razlika između ta dva čovjeka, odnosno takva dva načina promišljanja?
This is very important for your mindset, and from today you should think if someone comes into your business, it does not mean he's your competitor. It means he's trying, you will be benefiting. If I open now, for example, a shop or a restaurant, I deliver certain services, and there is another one who came to in the same shop, the same road nearby, we open similar restaurant. It doesn't mean that he's my competitor. And this is what the difference of what we are changing the mindset. It means that he's pushing me to discover how I differentiate myself from him. This is the abundance mindset. Abundance mindset, they see the whole world is much larger than what we think. And there is lots of opportunities we can do around.
And they think of the opportunities available from having this.
Yes.
Scarcity people, they don't think of opportunities. They think that anyone is taking the opportunities from them. While the abundance, you see everything as an opportunity that you can benefit from.
So the challenges of, for example, migration, right? We have a project of migration. We see that it's an opportunity. People migrating is not a problem. It's an opportunity. How we see that, we'll discuss about it later. Okay? How we deal with migration is the difference. What makes the difference, how we deal with the issue of migration. Do we want people only to stay in the country? I don't think so. Okay? We need people to migrate, but once they migrate, they will not do a knowledge drain. Okay? As we can make sure that they understand that once they migrate, the migration is not an issue. Okay? The issue, how we can deal with migration. This is the issue. So, yes, just make sure.
Da migracija nije problem, nego da je to prilika da nađemo rješenje da riješimo taj problem koji mi smatramo da je problem. Ali to nije problem, nego to je prilika za rješavanje, da stvaranje bolje prilika.
Okay, anyway, we can discuss later. I'm sure some of you asking why, how we do it.
It should be like seeing out of the box.
Yes, thinking out of the box, how we deal with things in different ways. Yes.
Or there is no box in inspiration economy, not out of the box.
Dakle, da ne budemo spučeni kao puti, nego da gledamo izvan kutije. Svaki problem na takav način trebamo pristupati.
So in inspiration economy, we're taking all this type of transitional economy, service economy, and we brought to call inspiration economy because it's an experience that you can see together, and we call it advanced abundance mindset. It is very advanced because you can see, and there is inside the problem there is opportunities. So instead of trying to solve the problem, you are going to go? You're going to go into the problem. You're not going to try to hide the problem or cover the problem or solve the problem. You're going to go into the problem and get from inside it the opportunity for solution, inshallah. For permanent solution. See, most of our societies, unfortunately, talk about even our Arab world, we consider we are living but we are not alive. Okay? Because we don't make any reaction of thinking, we are very defensive when we want to change. And you're going to see the most important challenge for mentors and team leaders is what? Change management. Changing the mindset of people, you see that there's a lot of resistance, okay? On the people mindset, okay? Every one of us, by the way. So you're going to move them first to be first more ability to produce more. Push thinking means producing more things, okay? But with time, you should be more creative thinking and trying to bring solutions, looking at the opportunities that we were explaining. With time, you're going to see, of course, the empathetic thinking and see the big picture with time, okay? بس أنا بشوف الوقت بتشوفين الوقت؟
الحين 42.
Okay.
Oops, I think you moved the one. Okay.
Okay. So we call this type of societies, by the way, scarcity society. They are spoon-fed society, I call them. In my books, I call them spoon-fed society. Okay, because they can wait always for someone to help them. Okay. Amr, he wants to build a mosque in his, inshallah, area. Okay. Now he's waiting for example, donation. We might find different ways of building mosque. Okay. First of all, how much we need the mosque? What type of mosque? Okay. Is it the area size? Is it do we need a mosque like the normal mosque, or we might have a mosque maybe like a building or and so on. So this is again the type of once we change the society from a spoon-fed to a vibrant society, accepting to go and learning by doing. The more we learn by doing and take projects, the more we're going to change our societies. The more we talk and we listen only. Now today are listeners, which is not a good sign. Inshallah, Tuesday we'll do more workshop so that we make you work together, inshallah. Then we move to what we call inspired society, seeing the big picture. Okay? From everything we need to link things to big values. Each one of us have what we call a large value or a big value that we are living for. Okay? After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for sure we are living for a value. What do you want to do in the world? If you remember those who was with me in the kindergarten, when we were going to Yasmin in the kindergarten, we asked them. We did not ask them what they want to be. Some of them said we want to be engineers. Or some of them want to be doctors. Okay, but this is the type of society we don't want to have. But those some of the children they said we want to change Bosnia. We want to create a better environment for Bosnia. These are the children that they're going to change the world because they have a belief since they are young that they can do something much bigger than their profession. They might be a physician, but they might change maybe the whole environment of Bosnia. Okay? So this is an example of how we like to see our societies. So as I was saying, each one of us has hidden powers. I will not talk about powers. Go back inshallah to the implementation side. But what I was thinking, the very important you see that these are the powers of inspiration. The hidden powers. We will talk about the intrinsic powers. القوة الداخلية عامة. هذه السلايد تشرح عن القوة الداخلية لدى الإنسان.
Znači, ovaj slajd je veoma bitan zato što govori o unutarnjoj snazi koju
بشرحها واحدة. الأولى سوف أتكلم عن الإنسان في الأصل أن لديه في الحياة تحديات أي أو تكرار أو فشل.
Znači, إمكانيات يعني
تحديات أيوة challenges
يعني تحديات izazovi
أو repetitions تكرار يكرر العمل روتين الأعمال أوكي أو هو failures فشل كان يريد يحقق أحلام كثيرة ولكن لم ينجح أن يحقق أحلامه.
Promašaj znači ono što se vezuje primjerice rad da čovjek ima dosta nekih želja, snova i tako dalje, međutim koji su neostvareni.
وبالطبع نجاحات وهناك نجاحات أحيانا نجاح.
Znači sad trenutno gdje govorimo o uspjesima.
احنا نريد ان نصنع هذه يعني نريد ان نصنع هذا عمليا او نصطنع هذا يعني لن ننتظر لما نضع في المختبر او الورشه سوف نقوم بصناعه هذا نتعمد ان نصنع له نوع من التحدي.
Znači u suštini trebamo smisla svega toga kako bismo uspjeli tokom znači praktičnog rada.
And for that we call it labs. We call these labs because we're going to create this intention. We're going to challenge them in an issue where maybe they can't solve it. Only maybe politicians can solve it. Like migration is not only youth can solve it. Even politicians sometimes they can't solve it, right? But we're going to create this challenge so that we can find from their internal power how much they can change. Okay? If you challenge people this way, okay, you're going to find first of all that they will have the power of observation. We're going to bring the power of observation. قوة الملاحظة.
Znači ono što je čovjek ima na prvo mjesto, znači to je tako da kažemo moć, znači primićivanje, odnosno uočavanje.
قوة الملاحظة. I said power of observation to the extent that you need to go inside the problem, not solve the problem.
Znači ono što je bitno kod uočavanja jeste da je to nešto što vodi, dakle neka snaga koja vodi čovjeka ka unutrašnjosti samog problema, znači neka rješenje problema, nego znači da uđe u njegovu suštinu.
I think who attended my workshop, they remember this model that always I give, and I say I use this all my life whenever I go to solve any problem for industry or for government or for any society. Okay, I go to a factory, and they had a problem with what we call black spot in the pipes. Okay, a factory pipe.
No,
This factory has this what we call black spot. Black spot means dangerous. These are black spots in the pipe. These are steel ductile pipes. You remember this, Prof. Yasmin, right? These steel ductile pipes are supposed to be not have these black spots, because if they have this black spots, they will explode with time.
Znači ovo govori upravo vraća ovaj primjer koji praktično pokazuje kako se znači treba u suštini analizirati određeni problem. Znači tu imamo neke crne mrlje koje ne bi trebalo biti na ovim cijevima, znači gdje se već nalaze. Znači u suštini znači simbolički će prikazati kako pristupiti rješavanju, odnosno tretiranju bilo kojeg problema.
Now, if you can see, if we put, let's say, 3 pipes, they are the same size. I asked the company to put for me 3 pipes with the same size, okay? They have big pipes, medium, I asked for the large pipes, okay? Because I can see it physically, and I never go to this, I'm not expert in pipe industry. Okay? Okay? I'm not expert in pipe industry, but I use the power of what? Of observation, okay? So what I see now, the power of observation, when they brought before experts in the pipe and they never solved this problem. They had 13% rejection because of this. They reject the pipes. Okay? The pipe is rejected, you know rejection, right? Okay, they make wrong manufacturing. Okay? 13%. Okay? But and they brought me to see whether I can reduce this in percentage wise. Okay, after they tried many ways of doing solving this problem. What is the power of observation here? Who remember Yasmina? Or Prof? Remember?
Could be on a forum.
Haris, remember? Haris, you were outside that time. You were outside sitting, talking with your friends.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why we don't know.
Yes, but they understand everything they know.
You remember his, huh?
I thought se ovo, ako se sjećate ono kad smo pričali, znači pojavljivao se neki problem, trebalo je prekriti samo jednostavno rješenje, prekriti te, da kažemo, da ne pada prašina po tim cijevima, ne se sjećate toga, sad ne mogu objašnjavati, ali tako jeftino rješenje nisu pravno skladištene da kažem, te ne se sjećate toga.
Yes. So what is the solution? Let me explain again, so I make sure right? So the problem was, how I discovered this? I discovered this because I found there is a special area, which is, as you can see, this area. Okay? There is no black spot. There is no black spot here. No black spot inside. Okay? Around the tip. Okay? So I said, no. Around the tip, see the people, they try to solve the problem itself, right? I didn't try because it's not my expertise to solve the problem. I'm not a politician to solve the problem of migration. Same example, okay? But what I do, I go and see what is the observation. Oh, there's opportunity here. See, people always they see this black spot and they try to solve this black spot, and this needs experts. need money, they need lots of resources. You need to change the whole factory. But I found an area where others they cannot see, or they're not seeing properly. An area where there is no black spots, I start to ask not why there is black spots, why there is no black spots. Right? So I asked the opposite question. Can you make sure to explain this?
Yes, we
Understand?
understand.
Okay. Why there is no black spots? This is where inspiration is. Okay. Once I start to ask this, the problem will be solved. Okay. So this is where your mindset will be. Opposite mindset. I call it in one of my books, reverse thinking. Okay. Reverse thinking means that you think in different way. Okay. Same thing, we solve lots of problems with Dr. Adenia for divorce in Bahrain, for lots of issues in Bahrain, for women council and so on, because they take these projects for inspiration. So, because we asked this question, we found out, as the Prof. Yasmin said, that this is why they don't have black spots, because it was covered. So what we did, logical, we covered the whole in the beginning. We covered the whole body of the mold. The mold, they use it for, and so on. So from that I say the power of observation is very strong. It can bring lots of money. By the way, I built a house because of this project, just in saying this issue. Okay. Of course, I stayed 5 days. I had helpers with me, but I think the power of observation can bring you lots of money, bring you lots of resources, bring you lots of things that others can't see. Power of variety. Our society has different people of different mindset. People who Muslim, they are non-Muslim, they are Christian, they are Jewish. This is and because if we go through war, we consider this a problem. But if we see it from different point of view, we should be using it to be what? As a vibrant society. When they say this is a vibrant society, one of the society why it's vibrant because we are accepting others. We are accepting other beliefs. Whatever the other beliefs, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't ask us to change other beliefs. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked us to live with others, to show that we are, our belief is accepting others. And this is why the power of variety as an example. And you can see it in different ways. Power of common sense. By the way, very popular now, one of the most popular type of shops who sell clothes is a shop who sell socks with different pairs of socks. Did you hear that?
Yes.
And they don't have similar. What's the name? I forgot the name of the company. But they have 3 socks, and each socks is different. Okay, so you put here red socks and here white socks, for example. Okay, this is now a style. So they thought a different way. This is the most popular now. They make lots of money. I go to the internet, especially in China, they are booming in business and so on. Because they thought a different way. Okay, why people they put because the logical thinking says you have to put black socks together, right? But this is not they thought different. So the power of variety, power of common sense. And this is what we lost, by the way.